and then penalties. You watch so many times, and we tell our guys we never want to block. We never want to block the nameplate. And so here you're going to get that. And this is why I show you. We'll talk about this in a few minutes. Is working up to the next level. It may happen from time to time that you end up getting beaten. If you get yourself into a trail position, you should work up to the next level. Because what we have found is most good returners, if they've got a little bit of maneuver space, can make that guy miss. This kid's going to get pushed in the back right here again, and it's a foolish penalty. Before you can get what you want, you got to make sure you know what you got to avoid. So that was a bush in the back. Always want to be onside. In the return element, we talk about putting our hand behind the ball, our head behind our hand, making sure that we get a good BGO. That's our ball get off. We always want to block the front plate numbers, and we got to be great decision makers. And so in our blocking philosophy, we're blocking all the way to the whistle because we're going to take it to the house. All right, this is the way that we end up lining up. And so there's different ways that people do it. We just have position numbers. We have two corners that are on the outside. Some will call them jammers. We have two safeties. We have two safeties. We have two ends, two tackles, and two backers. And so this would be a double vice structure. We just call this double vice. Double vice tells us that we have 6 in the box. The predominant look that we end up having over the last 2 years is a giant look. And so giant would tell us, hey, we're going to take one of these safeties and we're going to bring him into the box to give us a 7-man structure. So that's what we would end up. Doing. So this is our double vice look. Corner safeties up top. This was against the Chargers a couple years ago. You can see that we're slightly tilted here because we knew that they were a short side punting team. We saw that this punter is offset through game plan and such, that he's offset to the short side. And so we want to meet force with force. So number one, the white jersey is going to meet force with force on the outside release. We get a pretty good double vice there, taking care of the perimeter. Down below, we're trying to wash by. And we would take that look right there. With the returner we had, Marvin Mims, we want to have at least 10 yards of maneuver space to get going. And that's what we have here. He does a good job of circling. Let's take a look on the inside. So typically we had a return side and we had a rush side. So 41 is our rush and peel player. 41 is going to end up being the rush and the peel player. Here's where we're going to create our wall. 32, he's our wild card. We could either use him to drop back and start the return, or if they had a good PP, which the Chargers did, we would use him to man up the PP. Leverage and angles in this phase of the game. Leverage and angles. This is their double vice look for us. This is an interesting technique by the Chargers. The Chargers are trying to show short side, trying to show to the short side, but now they're really going to punt the ball back to their right, our left. You're going to see the outside release and the inside release. Great job here by our safety being physical, pad under pad, and he's in a great position down below. Up top, we've done a good job of handling. Anytime we're using two assets to block one, we've got to make money. So Riley Moss up here out of Iowa, doing a really good job. And we know that this player, this safety by rule, cannot engage out of bounds. So he's going to run the ticks. Good double vice, got some room to return it. We're in good shape. Let's see what we get here. Here's our wall. Again, this is going to be a blue return for us. So this would be called a double vice blue. Double vice, got two guys that are blocking on the outside. I got 6 in the box. Again, we put 32 on the PP. He's being patient. I like his positioning. He's not in any hurry. He knows it's a blue return. He knows he wants to stay on the low hip. And if that player wants to go this way, just take him that way. Stay with it. Stay with it. Okay. So on the perimeter, we've got a couple different techniques. We have a single technique, which is our one-on-one technique. Our hokey technique. Now we haven't used that a bunch. That was what Dallas and the Minnesota Vikings. I got that from Matt Daniels when I was up in Minnesota. It's an interesting technique where you're trying to just get your initial hand. You're trying to strike the perimeter player, trying to get one hand on him, and then you're running with him down the field. On the interior, we want to make sure we have pad under pad leverage. We call it a choke and pin technique. So again, that wall return side that you saw, we want to capture the outside pad with our outside hand and get our inside hand on the sternum. Tips to the hips, that's the transition of our hands up high to our hands down below so that we don't get any holding calls and slingshots ourselves around. This is a giant structure. So I know this is a giant blue. Why? Because I got 7 in the box. So we're going to double here and we're going to single up here. It's going to be a blue return. So this punter was punting the ball this way. We felt good about the one-on-one matchup. Number one uses a little bit of a bail technique. He's staying on top. He's fighting, and all he needs to do is get the return started. Down below, these two players know that ball's coming back this way. So if this kid wants to inside release, just keep pushing him there. Just keep pushing him, take him that way. And now he makes him miss on the inside. Now we got room to run. Let's look in the interior. Giant blue. My eyes are on 92. I talked about that choke and pin technique. That's really pretty textbook. He's got pad under pad leverage. He's driven that player back. He wants to continue to work his hips to the hole. So if that guy releases, he goes inside. Now, eventually, he's going to work outside. But that's a tremendous job by 92 of not letting that player get out into the zone. We're building our wall to the left side. We get a great lead block here. Watch number 34. And again, we talked about to the whistle to the house. Here comes my lead block. How this didn't go all the way, again. I mean, we're pointing and all kinds of shit. We just couldn't. Great job by 34. Lead block and to the whistle to the house. We're down at the 15-yard line. This was against the Raiders. This is going to be another giant play. Now, we doubled over here. Hey, why is the double over there? Well, maybe this was a better flyer. Maybe that we really wanted to make sure that we got the return started. So we put our better single guy over here, number 1 down below. I like his patience. He didn't get his hands on him right away at the line of scrimmage, but he continues to harass. And if you can get that out of your punt return guys, you don't have to be Devin Hester to take it to the house. Okay, so here comes our big field return again. Again, this is going to be giant because we have 7 in the box, blue because it's going to the left. Number 1's doing a tremendous job of getting the win. And now we got room to roll. Take a look on the inside. Giant blue. 26 is getting a PP. He's getting them early. Getting good pressure here. Rush should peel. That player should peel. And here's our wall. You can see the wall is starting to form. This is what we would call rip by technique. It used to be back in the day that you could knock this guy out. Can't do that anymore. That's a blindside block. So what you have to do is you got to rip by. You got to take that play side shoulder and just rip it right through his chest. Now, again, we get another great return. Okay, singles are mostly inside leverage. We talk about a mirror step, kick to cutoff, short 6-inch step. We really want to just deny that vertical entry. We want to deny that player's ability to get down the field. That hokey technique, that's that single technique. It's with a modification. Again, I think I've got a couple clips on here, but Minnesota and Dallas were very prominent in this the last 2 years. Eyes are on the ball, using an attack step. And then our double is our double vice. We're going to attack. We want to be aggressive. 1 foot outside the body of the gunner, and then the other players are read players. So that attack step is going to come to play right here. So this was 2 years ago in Buffalo. Meeting force with force down below. Pushes him out of bounds. The safety stays on the ticks or on the hash marks because he knows he can't run out of bounds. And now we've got that player taken care of. I mentioned to you about the wild card in the box. So on the previous ones, we had that safety that was in the box. He would go get the PP. This is a different technique that we can do. So what he's doing is he's clearing the cylinder. He's making sure that that ball gets snapped to the punter. Once it does, now he's going to work back and look to help on the single.